What's going on? I wanted to give a shout out to Ted, one of my long-term live stream buddies, and a cat that followed, and always got some great questions and great requests. And one of them was the 70s to 2000 NBA and the offensive bag, because he said you should do a video about it. And I appreciate him for saying it, because I'm going to tell you a funny story. So I'll be on Facebook recently a lot. I get around. And a lot of ABA stuff, because I had a book about Terry Pluto's book about the ABA. And of course, I've been seeing Julius Erving with Shaq podcast, the picture he took with Allen Iverson. A lot of Julius Erving references has been coming. But the question was, and he brought up, he said, the 70s through 2000s, the offensive bag you had to have. Because I was so offended that LeBron James said the offensive bag is overrated. And I thought, we talk about players all the time and how they move. And I'm talking about guys like from Adrian Dantley to Dwayne Wade. You know, you obviously Jordan and Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal. You talk about Wilt Chamberlain, George Gervin, Moses Malone, Dr. J, of course, mentioned Larry Bird, Magic, Isaiah Thomas. You know, I talk about how guys reinvented their game. John Havlicek, you know, guys who scored a lot of points. Rick Barry, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson. Just talking about mainly in those guys. But, you know, Elgin Baylor. You think about the moves you had to have. Connie Hawkins, how you could go through the air, how you could move. You had to have versatility. You had to have a pivot foot. You had to not travel. You didn't get the bunny hop. You didn't get to walk. You know, I saw guys had to have moves. Vince Carter had to learn how to shoot outside because he was all in the air. Dominique Wilkins had to learn how to shoot too. And he was in the air and he was great talent. David Thompson. You know, you talk about Artis Gilmore was poetic scoring. Karl Malone, third all-time leading scorer now, had to learn how that fadeaway, that turnaround. You know. Dave Robinson had a teardrop shot. Tony Parker had a teardropper. You know, you had to learn how to have something. You want to know why it's important to have had an offensive bag in your game? Because you could have been like a great talent like Dwight Howard, who never got to another level. Who should be considered one of the 75 greatest players, but he never had picked up an offensive game. Same thing that hurt Blake Griffin. He was a one-man trick operation. You know, when you see guys who are talented, but they don't have anything to expound, you see what James Harden was able to do. You know, he's the first guy I ever seen with a beard who made his shots and got free throws. That was incredible. But when guys can have go-to moves, the 12-foot jump shot. I remember Richard Hamilton could do it. Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Dirk Nowitzki. I can name guys. Downtown Fred Brown. If you can shoot, you could score. Dennis Johnson. I can think of a lot of guys. Wes so Elvin Hayes. They had moves. Kareem had that sky hook. You could take that hook anywhere in the world and make it. You got to have a move. You got to have a signature move. You got to have something that reflects your skill set. Because you ain't going to always have your hops and your spraying. You got to have other things. And it was important for guys back then. You can't really tell, for better or for worse, the Splash Brother era. And Steph and Clay can shoot. But a lot of these turkeys out here today can't shoot. They just shoot up to make shots. They can't shoot inside. They have no game beyond spotting up for threes. And that's what's hurting the game in part. So when you see Nikola Jokic, who can actually shoot, can score anywhere on the floor, Joel Embiid can too, Luka can too. Giannis made himself into a great talent. Wasn't a pure scorer or shooter, but he did. But you got guys like Dame Lillard who shoot threes and stuff. Doesn't count for much. Can shoot. Jason Tatum can shoot. Jaylen Brown. Jimmy Butler gets buckets and stuff like that. I can name guys. But there's a difference between having a bag that you had skills. How many guys got actual skills today that you go, oh yeah, that's a move, the signature move. Now, we talked about the Iceman, George Gervin, with a finger roll, and that finger roll couldn't be stopped. Jamal Silky Wills could hit you off in that corner. That's when cats had a signature bag move. They weren't designed just to be a one-trick pony. They beat you in different ways. They hustled. They did different things. Sean Merriman, I can tell you, it may have been ugly, but it went in. Steve Nash, John Stockton, Charles Barkley had moves. Could beat you with shots. Could actually do things. They weren't limited. Eras are less than a line of people who, an era, like when Chris Bosh hit you with the outside, go in the hole, you have to have some versatility. But it's an insult that guys today don't emphasize a bag to their offensive game, and it shows because the scoring is just whatever, and it's just not. It doesn't leave anything to the imagination. Please like, subscribe, vocal thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like my piece.